When you are an entrepreneur, one of the advice that you'll often get is you gotta create content, put yourself out there so that people find you, know you, like you, and trust you. As you build your brand, creating content is super important. Being on social media or any platform, getting interviewed, speaking on stages, all those things build your brand presence, build your brand authority. But what happens when you lose that self-confidence to create content or to pitch yourself or to go on stages or go on podcasts to talk about you and your business? And a huge part of creating content and putting yourself out there, getting on the PR circuit, getting found, comes down to self-confidence as an entrepreneur. Being confident in your business, being confident in who you are and the service and the products that you're providing and the value that you're providing to your target audience. And in this video, I want to share my journey going through that period of losing my self-confidence as an entrepreneur, what I've been doing to build up my confidence again in my business, in the content I'm creating, and the different things that I've been trying, the things that worked and the things that didn't work, and what I'm doing right now to build up self-confidence as a person and as an entrepreneur. Now, over the past couple of months, it's been a really weird, funky time period for me. I lost all connection with my content, with the work that I'm doing. I haven't been showing up often on YouTube. I haven't been showing up often on my podcast. And when I do show up, it's often as a collaboration or the focus is on someone else. I've stopped creating content where I'm actually, really sharing and teaching. And a huge part of that is because I lost my self-confidence. My self-confidence as an entrepreneur, it has waned just out of the blue. I've always been a very confident entrepreneur. I've always shown up. Creating content has never been difficult for me. Like over a period of time, I've obviously gotten better and better at it. But confidence has never been an issue. And suddenly, out of the blue, the past couple of months, I just didn't feel confident enough to talk about the things that truly matter to me. Now, for me, self-confidence is probably one of the basic foundations of running a business, any kind of business, right? A huge part of building a business, a huge part of creating content, a huge part of sales is putting yourself out there. Whether that's picking up the phone and calling a potential client, whether that's sending an email to someone that you think is super successful and you want to collaborate with that person, whether it's creating content on YouTube or as a podcast episode, asking whether you can go on someone's podcast. All these things are the fundamental blocks of running a business and getting your business out there so that people find you. It's fundamental block of marketing. And this is where self-confidence come in, right? Self-confidence helps you to feel comfortable, to feel confident, to put yourself out there. If naturally you struggle with confidence, if you naturally don't have that self-confidence, then it's going to be really difficult to put yourself out there because you're always going to talk yourself out of it. You're always going to say, I'm not good enough. I don't know what to talk about. Who am I to do this? And so as I was telling you in the intro of this video, that the past couple of months has been really weird for me. I completely stopped creating content on YouTube that is just me teaching you or me talking to you or me sharing something. I completely stopped it because I had nothing to talk about. I had no idea what to talk about. I had no idea what to share. And if you've been following me on YouTube or my podcast for any amount of time, then you probably realize that I've always been a marketer. I've always been creating marketing videos and marketing podcast episodes and marketing tips and business tips and so on. Right, that has been my thing. I've always been a marketer. I've spoken at top marketing conferences in the US, in different parts of the US, and that was my identity as an entrepreneur as well. I am a marketer. I run a marketing agency. These are the marketing services that we offer. And so what I believe kicked off this drop and this dip in self-confidence was early in 2021, so this year, I made a decision to start a brand new company, to shift my focus from marketing to this brand new company, Mindfield Community, because of a shift in my own personal development and my own personal goals in life and what I feel like I'm really on this planet Earth to do, right? I love marketing. Marketing has been in my blood for years. I used to work in a marketing ad agency. I've been doing marketing since I got out of school. And I'm in my mid 30s now. Marketing has been a part of my life for so long. And so when I decided to shift away from something that I knew so well and was known for into this brand new business that was all about mindset, energy, subconscious beliefs, mental health, self love for entrepreneurs, it suddenly felt like, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to be talking about this? What do I really know about this? Right? I know everything about marketing, but what do I really know about these things? And so for the past couple of months, I went from really confident, creating YouTube content all about marketing, getting thousands of views on some of my videos, to poof, like, I don't even know what to talk about. I was completely clueless, and like I drew a blank when I was sitting there thinking about what YouTube video, topics should I even be talking about. And I reached a point where I was like, I don't even want to create videos anymore. And I enjoy this. I enjoy creating YouTube videos. And I just realized, like, I just didn't want to talk anymore. Like, I didn't want to put myself out there. I just didn't feel confident enough because I wasn't sure what people would think about me. I wasn't sure what people would say. Like, who does Christabel think she is to talk about mindset or talk about subconscious beliefs? Like, who does she think she is? And no one ever said that to me. I said it to myself. And so I realized this dip in my confidence, in my self-confidence as an entrepreneur, and I wasn't able to show up. And the worst part of that was just recently, last month, I ran a huge online conference. I invited top leaders and speakers in mindset, in self-care, in manifestation and abundance and all that. And I invited them to come speak at a conference. And I obviously, as the organizer and the host of this online conference, as part of my brand new business, I wanted to create a presentation. I didn't just want to show up as a host, moderator, asking them questions. I wanted to present as well. I wanted to present because I wanted my audience to also connect with who I was and who I am and my brand. But as we were coming up to the actual conference dates, I realized that I had nothing to talk about. I couldn't figure out what exactly was going to be the topic of my presentation. I didn't feel confident enough. I felt like I was a total imposter, and I didn't present. I didn't present at my own conference. I didn't even introduce myself. I gave a quick introduction. Hey, my name is Christabel. I am the moderator, the host of this conference. This is my company. That's it. And then I hid behind the scenes and I only asked questions. After that conference was done, I had time to just sit back and do an evaluation, as I always do after every event that I do, every launch, every online conference that I run. I always take time off to evaluate what went wrong, what went right, what could have been better. And one of the things that it hit me was, oh my God, you did not even show up. You did not even talk. You did not even present. You did not even share. All I did was to hide behind the questions, hide behind all these speakers and authorities and leaders because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I had nothing to share. And someone that I know said to me, how is it possible that you think that you have nothing to share? You've been in the entrepreneur space for so long. You have so much information and so much experience that you need to talk about it. You need to share. You are good enough. You're more than good enough. And it took someone else to tell me that, to realize that I was holding myself back because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I had nothing to share because I've always been a marketer. And who was I to talk about something else other than marketing? And so as I started to realize that, it really hit me like a brick in my face. And so I started to work on my self-confidence as an entrepreneur because I know how important it is to show up, to be confident, to be proud of what I'm doing. Because no one else is going to take my business seriously. No one else is going to take my work and who I am seriously if I am not even confident enough of what I'm doing, of the change that I'm trying to create, right? So I got to work on my self-confidence first. And so I want to share the things that I tried, that people recommended, that I've read online, and it didn't quite work for me. And then at the end, I want to share what actually worked and what I'm still doing every single day and what I'll recommend that you do if you too are struggling with self-confidence. Now, One of the first things that I tried when I was working on building up my self-confidence was affirmations. People often tell you, you gotta say affirmations. You gotta say things to yourself, amazing things to yourself that basically boost you up. It lifts up your confidence. So things like, I am a great entrepreneur. I create content that people love, that people want to consume. These are the affirmations that you want to speak to yourself every single day. And that's what I tried. I would stand in front of the mirror, or I would be, in my bed right before I go to sleep. And I would say to myself, I am a successful entrepreneur. I am building a business that is so much more than just about the money. I am building a legacy here with my business. I am impacting the lives of entrepreneurs. But I didn't feel like the affirmations helped me. In fact, I don't think affirmations really work. And the reason why I say that is because it is one thing to say that I am rich, I am wealthy, I am an amazing leader, I am showing up, I am a great entrepreneur. It is one thing to say out those affirmations, and it is another thing to believe it, to feel it within yourself that everything that you're saying right now actually is who you are. And so at that stage, I felt like the affirmations that I was saying was just basically me just regurgitating the things that I felt like, I should be saying. I didn't really have this emotional connection to it. So do affirmations work? I do believe they work only if you connect your emotions to it. You're not just saying things like, oh, I am rich, I am abundant, I am amazing, I am, loved, I am respected, and you don't believe it. All right, so you gotta have some kind of emotions attached to that, whatever that you're saying. So affirmations was the first thing that I tried. Now, the second thing that I tried was to set goals. Now, as I mentioned to you, I am a very disciplined person. When I set goals, I stick to my goals. I always follow the things that I say, right? I keep my promises to myself and I take them very seriously. One reason why people suggested setting goals to build your self-confidence is because if you keep doing, if you might be afraid, but if you do it and you do it over and over and over again, if you keep trying to hit your goals, for example, you say, I'm going to create 4 videos for YouTube, even though I'm afraid, and I want to boost my self-confidence as an entrepreneur, I'm going to show up even though I am afraid, then over time, you start to build that self-confidence. Right. And so that's what I did. I set goals for myself, whether that's like I want to create, this 4 podcast episodes. I'm going to stick to it every single Monday. I'm going to do it no matter what. And I felt like it didn't work. And it didn't work it didn't work as I thought it would work, because setting goals, a lot of times, I think about it, every January, people are like, I'm going to set a goal, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight for this year, I'm going to make this amount of money, whatever, right? I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to set a goal for that. And they don't achieve it. Why is that? Why don't people achieve their goals? They don't achieve their goals because deep down inside of them, they don't have the thoughts and the beliefs of someone who is fit, of someone who is a non-smoker, of someone who is a successful entrepreneur, right? When you don't have those thoughts and beliefs, then it doesn't matter if you're setting goals for it. You're not going to achieve it because you're like, oh, but I'm a, who am I to do that? So you might be setting goals to build your self-confidence by setting goals to create YouTube videos, every single week. But you're going to show up and you're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel confident because it's not who you are. Your mind still tells you that you're not good enough. Your mind still has thoughts about things like, who are you to do that? Who am I, Christabel, to be creating videos about subconscious beliefs, thoughts, what we think we manifest, right? Who am I to be doing that? And so setting goals, it's great, but you got to realize that if your goals do not match up with what you're thinking and how you're feeling and what you believe about yourself and the belief about your confidence, the self-confidence part, right? Then it doesn't really matter what goals you set. And then the last thing that I tried was, face your fears. Depending on who you ask and the entrepreneur friends that you have, very often you get very gung-ho entrepreneurs who are like, what's wrong with you? You might be afraid, but you just got to do it. Just got to face your fears, right? Face your fears. If facing my fears was as easy as telling me to face my fears and just buckle up and find the confidence that you need, then this world will be full of confident people. This world will be full of people who are facing their fears. But the matter of fact is, it's not as easy as just, gung-hoing up and facing your fears. There's a lot of science behind that, a lot of brain science behind that, a lot of thoughts and emotions and feelings that go behind that, a lot of subconscious beliefs around that. that is preventing you from just simply facing your fears to start building self-confidence. And so for me, that was just a very simplistic way of just saying, hey, you're afraid? Too bad. Suck it up, face your fears. And I definitely don't think that helps anyone at all. And so what actually worked? What actually worked in helping me build my self-confidence so that today I can create this YouTube video for you? Well, there are two things. The first thing that really worked is self-hypnosis and visualization. If you've never heard of self-hypnosis, it's basically hypnosis, but you doing it on yourself. So you are self-hypnotizing yourself. And it's actually a really simple process, right? All you need to do is just to calm yourself down, be in a quiet space, close your eyes, relax, lose yourself. And as you start to relax, you start to envision the person that you want to be. You start to envision the life that you want to have. You start to envision anything positive that you want to have. As you envision that, you want to think of it as how you already have it. So not something like, oh, I want to have, I want to create YouTube videos. No, it's I am creating YouTube videos. I am creating content that matters. I am an authority. And I've been doing self-hypnosis for the past couple of, I would say, months, every single day. In the morning, the first thing I do when I wake up, and right before I sleep, I've been doing self-hypnosis, and sometimes even during the day, whenever I start to feel like, a dip in my self-confidence, or a dip in anything, any performance around my life, I just center myself. I sit down in a quiet space. I block out all sounds. I close my eyes and I get into self-hypnosis. And in my self-hypnosis, I remind myself that I am a successful entrepreneur. I am creating value for my community of entrepreneurs. I am a leader in the space of mindset, energy, and subconscious beliefs for entrepreneurs. I am. And I take it as it is. I take that as a fact. I don't take it as maybe I am. I don't know. Right? So that's the whole thing about self-hypnosis, and has really helped me. And then tied to that is the visualization part, where I start to imagine myself, being that person. So if I say that I am a leader in this field, then how would a leader in this field show up? What would a leader in this field be doing? And so I'm visualizing myself doing that. So very often recently, I've been visualizing myself creating YouTube video content. It's just visualizing myself showing up, being self-confident, and seeing myself in that very exact role. Right? So that's number one. The thing that really worked very well for me was self-hypnosis and visualization. And here's the reason why it worked so well. Unlike just saying affirmations, with self-hypnosis and visualization, you are actually changing the way that your brain is thinking. You're changing the way that you believe about yourself. You're changing the thoughts that you have. You're changing your vibration. And so you're not just saying things and having no emotional connection to it. With self-hypnosis, you'll start to realize that you are changing who you believe about yourself. And so where I used to struggle with thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, who am I to be doing this? I've started to change that into, I am a leader in this field. I am creating an impact in this world. I am creating a business that is actually gonna create a legacy and leave a legacy. Now, the second thing that really worked for me was sitting down and working out my purpose, my why, the reason why I do what I do, the reason why I even started this brand new business. Now, starting a brand new business and pivoting from marketing to this brand new business is honestly scary. It hasn't been easy because it is so far from what I've been doing that it's scary. I have to start from fresh, create a brand new audience for this new brand, because the people who used to follow me from marketing might not be interested in mindset, energy, or subconsciousness, right? It might just be so far for them. And so I have to create a brand new audience. I have to create brand new content. I have to think about new things to talk about. And it is scary, right? It is really scary. And so I got to ask myself, why am I doing this? Why this? Why not anything else? Why not set up an e-commerce store? Why not do anything else? Why this? And so once I figured out why I'm doing this, why I've created Mindfield Community, what's the purpose behind it, what's the impact that I'm trying to envision with this company, that's when it started to make sense for me. So that anytime I'm just like, but who am I to be doing this? I'm like, snap out of it. Snap out of it, because you are creating this for a reason, and the reason is this purpose, this why that I'm doing it. So I cannot allow myself to be in that mode of I'm not good enough or who am I to do this, and that self-pitying and that negativity, when I know that I've got a purpose and a why behind what I'm doing, and I gotta show up. Because if I'm not showing up, if I'm not creating this, then I am not, putting an amazing product and an amazing business and amazing content in front of the people who would actually really benefit from it. Because the moment that you know why you're doing it, the purpose you're doing it, then you know that your business is actually going to help the lives of your target audience. And so if you're not showing up with self-confidence, you're not creating content because you're too afraid, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not talking about your business or your service because you're too afraid, then you're doing them a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. And so that's been my journey for the past couple of months as I've been trying to figure out how to build up my self-confidence again as an entrepreneur, my self-esteem, my confidence in the work that I'm doing, the products I'm creating, the business that I'm building, the lives I'm trying to impact, and the things that worked and the things that didn't work. And so I hope you found it really useful. I'm going to leave a couple of resources that you can go check out about self-hypnosis, about visualization, things that will really help you if you're trying to build your self-confidence. So I want to hear from you. Do you struggle with self-confidence as an entrepreneur? If so, what have you been doing to work through that, to build up your self-confidence? Let me know in the comments below if you've also found this video useful. And if you've not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also hit the like button and the share button and the notification bell button if you want to. So hit all of them. All right, so I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in another video.